Come on, let's do it.
I've been told I talk too much up front of the show. Let's get to the cooking. No, man. I got things to say. However, tonight, we'll get to the cooking, all right. I am so pumped for the show, you have no idea. And it's a special dedication, really, to the idea of family. I just got home from this past weekend at my sister's in Philadelphia. Her daughter Emma, Rob gave her the ring. We surprised her. Well, not we. I had nothing to do with it. I just showed up. But my sister and her husband surprised her. Rob gave her the ring at another location, and then they were going out to dinner. But they had to stop at the house where like upwards of 40, maybe 50 people were waiting. Family, all her friends from high school, college, child. It was a sight to behold. Congratulations, Rob and Emma. And great job, fun family. Okay, I'm blabbing already, see? I can't help it. But the dedication is to family, but mostly, and usually, I'm dressed down for this show with my rattiest t-shirts on, because there's always olive oil splashing around, Today I feel overdressed for the show, but I wore this because I wore this shirt when I gave the eulogy at my mom's funeral last year, a year and a couple of months ago, and I was seriously underdressed with this on, but as I told the crowd at the opening of my eulogy, pardon the attire. My mom gave me this as a gift many years ago. You can see it's getting frayed and whatnot, but I treasure it. I love this shirt, so here I am. This is for my mom and her late brother, Uncle Jimmy, a.k.a. Vincenzo. You hear about him a lot on this show. And that's, I guess, enough to be said. So let's head over to the marble. Come on, let's do it.
Come on, let's do it.
Okay, Japanese. One of the reasons for this episode is the dedication, but coming home from Philadelphia, about halfway is an H Mart. If you haven't been to H Mart, it's a giant Korean grocery. They've got just about everything. So I stocked up. I got all kinds of stuff. I won't bother you with it now. But one of the things I did grab was salmon skin. We are going to make temaki. Salmon skin hand roll. One of my absolute favorites. Vincenzo loved this. He turned me on. And look at this. Kmart. I grabbed this out of their freezer case. Salmon skin. $1.93 for 3 of these. I want to get this back in the freezer, but look at them. This isn't just salmon skin. Look at the meat on that thing. I mean, I could actually slice this part off, fry it up, but I'm leaving all the meat on, and we're going to fry it up, skin and all, and we are going to make a beautiful temaki roll. Now, there are a lot of steps to this, so first things first, sushi rice. Let's get that going. So this is a short grain rice. Most of these are grown in California. I get this at the health food store. Nice, short grain, organic rice. And when you're making sushi rice, the first thing you want to do is rinse it several times. Look how that water is going to get cloudy. What we want to do is take as much starch out of it as we can, so it's not too sticky when we make our roll. Okay? So the point is, you do this, you drain the water, you put more clear water, you swish, you drain the water, you put more clear water until the water runs clear. And I'm not going to make you guys sit through that. So I'll take care of this off stage and we will be back. See you in a few. I'll get the rice nice and clear. So I did it 5 times and the water was absolutely clear, not a hint of cloudiness in it. We started with a half a cup of rice. I don't think I mentioned that. So now I'm going to add a half a cup of water. It's 1 to 1. Normally I go 1.5 to 1 with rice, but the fact that we already soaked it, it still has a little water clinging to it. So 1 to 1. Let's get it on and bring it to a boil. Okay, while that's happening, we're going to make a little eel sauce to garnish at the end. Okay, the eel sauce, which I also happen to love, unagi. Couldn't be simple. I'm going to use my little cup measure here. Have to sort of balance it. And it's 1-to-1. Soy sauce and mirin with a little bit of sugar, right? So I'll go with 1/4 cup of each. Soy. Japanese soy. I picked up 2 nice soy sauces at H Mart. I got a dark Chinese one and a light soy sauce. You often see those combined in Chinese recipes. But this is Japanese soy sauce. 1/4 cup. 1/4 cup of mirin, which is sweet rice cooking wine. Mirin. And 2 tablespoons of just good old, that evil white powder. Sugar. 2 tablespoons. And I'll go a little shy on them. And basically this is just like a reduction. We are just going to let this simmer. I can actually bring it up a little, low to medium. And it's going to cook for about 10 minutes. It will thicken and reduce a little. And then when you take it off, it'll thicken and reduce a little more, so you want to be careful. Okay, our rice is coming up to the boil. So, remember I told you about the Japanese chef, no lonely rice kernels, they all want to be together. And now that it's boiling, I'm going to go as low as I can go, put a tight lid, and put this on for 10 minutes. I'd go 15 if it was a larger pot of rice. But I'm just going to go 10, and then we'll let it rest for 10 or 12. I'm going to raise this heat a little bit. And let's give this a quality blend check before it even begins to thicken. Oh, that's eel sauce. Beautiful. Mirin, soy, equal amounts. A little bit of sugar. Oh, that tastes like unagi. Okay, while that's happening, let's slide on over and prepare our salmon skin. This is going to come together real nicely, I think. Okay, I still can't get over this. $2 for 3 of these. But I spoke before I thunk. We're going to put in our roll, and you can use whatever you like. We're going to put inside our roll a little julienne cucumber, just a little bit of scallion. I'm even debating the carrot, but maybe just a few slivers. And quick tip, it's Thursday night, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that. In this mystery bag, I've mentioned this on other shows, an avocado and a banana, and I placed them in there Tuesday night. This avocado was hard as a rock. Tuesday, 2 days in a bag with a banana, which releases ethylene gas, and this is absolutely perfect. It's soft. It's delicious. Whoops. My eel sauce almost boiled over, but I caught it out of the corner of my eye. All is well. So if you have an avocado that you want to ripen quickly, put it in a brown paper bag. Banana, roll it up tight, give it a day or two. That ethylene gas will ripen it right up. It works for tomatoes. By the way, that's how you get your store tomatoes. They pick them green and they blast them with ethylene gas. Okay, so I wanted to point this out now because I will julienne everything before we start with this, because we're going to get some hot oil on the stove for that. So let me take care of the julienne and then we'll get to our salmon skin. See you in a few. All right, I do have my vegetables julienne, but before we get to the salmon, I forgot another crucial step, which is we need our vinegar for the sushi rice. Very key. And now this is an area where different sushi chefs have their own ratios. Some want it more vinegary, some want it more sweet. Oh, you know what? There's bugs in here. Not to worry, I have a brand new unopened one. I knew that one was getting a little old. We might have to do another pantry show, folks. Let me get the new rice vinegar. Okay, let that be a lesson to you. Keep an eye on your stuff. So I got the new rice vinegar, about 1/3 of a cup. By the way, the timer went off for the rice. I shut it. This is not far behind, but we want it a little bit thicker, our eel sauce. Let's give that a QC, now that it's cooked a while. Okay, to the rice wine vinegar, not to be confused with the mirin, which is sweet. Gonna add a little bit of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon maybe. Now, as I was saying, different sushi chefs have different ratios, right? I'm kind of eyeballing this. My frequent sushi making days are somewhat behind me, but there was a point in my life where I did it a lot. So I feel like I may still have a feel. And then just a touch of oil. Most Japanese books will tell you vegetable oil. I always rely on the Filippo Berio. Extra light. I know we're mixing ethnicities there, but that is almost a flavorless oil. Now the idea here, and just a pinch of salt, is just to get the sugar to dissolve. And then you can take the heat off, and you want this to cool. This is going to dress the sushi rice. So salt and sugar dissolve, and then we can take it right off the heat. And as I did with the mayonnaise, you want to taste everything. And flare up, making me think of the caveman kitchen. Get some ribeyes out there. It won't be long now. Okay, let's taste this. Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, that's perfect. I'll just leave it on for a second more to let those last few sugar granules dissolve. And then we've got our eel sauce. Remember, this is a tricky one because this is going to continue thickening off the heat. But it's still kind of thin. I like that sort of honey consistency. So I think that's just got about another minute. So I'm going to crank it, and I think they'll both finish together. Our rice is resting. It's been a few. I think we can take a peek. Perfection. Perfection. Okay. I think I can move this guy off the heat now, and that will thicken up. Yeah. Let this, just want all of that dissolved. Okay, so these are both going to cool. Give this one more taste. Our sushi rice vinegar is perfect. It's got that little bit of sweetness that I love in a good Japanese sushi rice. All right, let's come on over and prep our salmon. That will allow these to cool. Here's the salmon. I washed it, dried it very well with paper towels, okay? And what I'm going to do now is season it. A little bit of salt. Some folks use black pepper. I'm going to use a little bit of togarashi. We did a whole episode with this. It's this stuff has a kick, so you just want to use it. In fact, I'm not even going to sprinkle it on. I'm going to use my fingers because this stuff is quite spicy. It's red pepper, chili pepper, orange peel, black sesame seed. It's a wonderful seasoning, but you want to use it kind of sparingly, okay? So there's that. A little salt. This is dry, so I'll pat my seasonings on. Look at that. $2 for 3 of those. And H Mart is not that close to me. but it's halfway to my sister's. However, there's another one, I think, down in Rockland or Westchester County, about, I don't know, an hour and 15 from the house. So I may make a monthly trip. Spend $100, $200. Your pantry is just smiling for months on end. And by the way, I got there too early. I got there when they opened. The actual fish counter, the live fish counter, wasn't open. I was a little bummed about that. Cornstarch, right? Let's do both sides. We are going to fry this. You can bake it. You can broil it. You don't need the cornstarch. You can do this any way you like. But I am going with it fried and a little bit of peanut oil. Meet me at the stove. I just checked the oil. This is peanut oil. As I told you the last time, I do save it. This was probably used 2 or 3 times, and this is a fish frying oil. That's why I'm only using it for this. Fan on, folks. Pardon the noise. Skin side down, skin side up, it doesn't really matter. We're going to flip this a few times. And on the back burner here is our unagi sauce getting nice and thick. That's what I want. Okay, so I'm going to actually put that back on for about another minute or 2. And then I'll have the consistency I want, because off heat it will thicken down. That go, and we have to season our rice and cool it down. That's going to be next. Once this is fried crispy, we can let it sit and cool. I'm going to switch tongs because that oil is hot. I don't want the rubber inside there. Got these nice. We want this crispy. It's already well seasoned with our togarashi, salt. Unagi sauce is thickening beautifully on the back right burner. I think I am about to shut that off. It's like making candy or jelly, you know, if you don't think, then you go too far and then it thickens way too much when it cools. So I think that is done and ready to cool. Let's put it over here where the vinegar is. Cooling station. Flip our salmon again. Oh man! If you haven't had a crispy salmon skin temaki roll, hand roll, thank you, Vincenzo. Alright, I'll let this finish up. And when it's done, we'll take it off, we'll season our rice, and make us a nice little hand roll. Oh, this is so beautiful. Look at this. Look how crispy this is going to be. So I think we can now take it out. You know what? Wrong one. There we go. And what I want to do is just get some of that peanut oil off. I'm going to dab it on this paper towel here, both sides, but then look what I did. I put this ring here because we don't want it sitting on the paper towel and steaming itself away. We want to keep that crunch. So up on this ring it goes. In fact, I may even do it the other way because with that air in there, more airflow. Look at that. We'll just let that cool. Let's go season up our rice. We don't need that anymore. Okay, here's our rice wine vinegar, sweetened up with a little sugar, salt, a touch of oil. I nailed it on that, man. Doesn't always happen. Whoops, that was a drop of water in my hot oil from taking the cover off. You got to be careful. All right, so let's take the rice out. came out beautifully. And if you watch a Japanese chef in a restaurant, this is how the apprentices, they'll spend 3 years just learning rice when they want to be a sushi chef. So, what you want to do is you want to cool this kind of quickly. They have big paddles that they use. I am going to use my dough scraper, right? And what you do is as you're cooling it, you're seasoning it with a little of the rice vinegar. I don't want it too wet, so I'm only going to add a little bit at a time. And we're going to taste as it cools down and becomes nice and seasoned. The idea is when you make your sushi, you want it to be able to, you know, stick together, but you don't want it sticky. Let's give it a little taste, a little quality control check. That might be all the liquid we need. I did make more than would call for with the rice, but who knows, it's Thursday night. With these ingredients, the salmon skin roll and the salmon skin in the freezer, this may be going on all weekend. We've got extra eel sauce. Okay, how's the temp? Yeah, it's cooling right off, see? If you work quickly, you're in good shape. Now normally you want a little water on your hands, but I think I have a little in here. Let's see how this is. Yeah, and it isn't fully cooled yet. So I think we're in good shape. Seasoning is perfect. So, okay, I'm going to get set up, mise en place, right? Or however that translates to Japanese. And we will make our rolls. Let me get tidied up here. The rice is ready. Okay, we are ready to assemble. I'm totally psyched. But before we do, one last order of business here. I've got some water on the stove here. Coming up, warming it up. I'm going to put this Pyrex right in there, almost like a double boiler. And I think I told you that at the beginning of the episode that this show is basically a dedication to my mom and Vincenzo. And when Mom died, there were a bunch of things that were sent up, and this was one of them. Actually, I'm trying to get rid of stuff in my life, not taking new stuff. So my sister was sending me videos, walking around the place. Do you want this? Do you want that? And I said, yes, I will take that. This was my mom's little sake set. So let's take that out. It hasn't really been out of this since then, so I'm going to rinse it out. I'll take 1 cup. I haven't yet had a chance to pour all 4 cups for a little gathering, but that will happen sooner or later. I'll wash that. In the meantime, a temaki salmon skin hand roll would not be the same without a little warm sake on the side. And I think I told you in a previous episode also that the Japanese, they drink their sake by the season. Cold in the summer, warm in the winter. But it's kind of chilly and rainy out. It's been a cold April. So I will rinse those. Be right back. I wasn't taking any chances. That thing's been in the box, sitting in the dining room on display. But after those bugs in my vinegar, who the heck knows, right? So I got everything julienned. Let's bring the salmon skin over, and we have to have a quality control little check on that. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut it into strips this way, right? So we get a little bit of that little middle line of the meat in every single strip. Still has steam coming off it. Beautiful. Okay, let's take this outer piece here and do a little QC. Oh, I'm so psyched. All right, nori. Now, oh, that is good. Now, nori. When you work with this sushi rice, get yourself a little bowl of water. Just cold, just tap water. And we have a little wasabi here. I just mixed it up. We did that on a prior episode. The powdered wasabi. You're not going to get real wasabi without paying an arm and a leg and ordering it in this country. This is really wasabi. This is horseradish powder, mustard, little cornstarch. But most of your Japanese restaurants, they're using that anyway. So, take a little rice. Hand has some water on it. Put it down here in the corner. Alright? And then what we want to do is make almost a triangle out of it, right? For our hand roll. So, wider at the top. Coming down narrow at the bottom. Okay? Let's do the other one. Oh, I can't get over the flavor of that. The water is essential. This rice is very sticky. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do is make a little finger-length indentation. I'm going to take just a touch of wasabi on each one. Just lower that. We just want the sake warmed up. I don't want to boil it. Okay. Each roll. Oh, here's a little quick tip. Take a little bit of the rice and put it down here in the corner, right? Just a few kernels. In fact, that's probably even too much. There we go. And now, cucumber. All right. Little carrot. Each one. One more cucumber on that one. Well, it was mixed in. There's scallion as well. Scallion and cucumber look just about identical, but I've got a little bit on each one. And put them the long way because we are going to roll. Avocado. And now, our salmon skin. Okay, now here comes the fun part. Temaki. Pick up your nori. And you're going to roll it towards that little piece of rice that you have. Keep everything inside. Might have overfilled this. I've made these before, but not frequently. Trust me. Yeah, I think I overfilled it. All right, whatever. I don't think it's going to taste bad. Oh, let me get my... This was also a gift from Vincenzo. Scusi. A little sushi platters. All right, I definitely overfilled this, so I'm not going to get the perfect temaki roll out of it. And I'm not going to disassemble it all now. But you get the idea. What a mess. Same with this one. I put too much in. I got too overzealous. Whatever. Also, these could have been more square. See all that at the top? Although, oh, actually, no. I didn't, there you go. I didn't do it right. That's the idea. I didn't roll it properly. Let me try to fix this one. But there should be rice. I also put the rice on the wrong corner so that it sticks. There we go. There's one temaki. Hey, I didn't study the rice for 3 years, all right? All right, this one is total mess. So I'll eat this one first. But, you know, we don't play around on this show trying to fool you or anything like that. It is what it is. Our eel sauce, look how it thickened up. And pièce de résistance from the trip to H-Mart, a little nice fish rod. I'm a little disappointed in the presentation for you guys, not for me, because this is not going to suck. But, hey, you got to practice. So guess what? Who has more of every single ingredient, including salmon skin? Oh, I don't care what it looks like. Total abject failure on the presentation. Mega bonus on tonight's dinner, the flavor. A delicious mess. The salmon skin is outrageous, you guys. I could just do that. I'll see you all for the next episode. My other roll is at least semi-attractive. I'm digging in.
Come on, let's do it.